Good morning, all of you.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, let's start with the third type of learning. That was the remaining part from our yesterday lecture. Okay, yesterday we have discussed the two types of learning for the learning agents that are like supervised learning and the second as a unsupervised learning. Now, in the both the cases, we have experienced the kind of differences are there. Okay, and both of these kind of learning are having some their advantages, disadvantages, etc., and accordingly, this kind of learnings algorithm are being utilized to for the machines to teach the machine regarding the these different kinds of activity just that is being performed by the human being, so that machine will become capable to take the decision, perform the activity like the human being. Okay, so for the machine, to train the machine, these two important primarily. The first as a supervised learning and the second as a unsupervised learnings are being utilized. Now, if I ask you the differences, there are the common two main differences are there. Two in the sense main differences I am saying. There are more than two differences are there. But if I ask you what are the major differences between the supervised learning and the unsupervised learning, so tell me what are the differences between the supervised learning and the unsupervised learning? Main differences, because on the basis of that differences we are having our the third type of learning, that is the reinforcement learning. Okay, so first you tell me the differences between the supervised learning and the unsupervised learning. Yes. What are the differences? Yes, all of you can hear me?
Yes, sir.
So tell me the differences. Difference between the supervised learning and the unsupervised learning. Yes, anybody?
Supervised learning label data. Unsupervised, not labeled.
Okay, label data in the sense what? Label data means what? Another difference is
supervised learning means learning which is output taken from previous experience.
In supervised learning, training is provided, and
yes.
in unsupervised learning, training is not provided.
Okay.
And not and it's without guidance.
Exactly.
Supervised learning is simple, and unsupervised learning is complex.
Two differences that I am expecting that you have just explained. So first major difference is nothing but what? Supervised learning is always being performed under the supervision of some guidance or under the supervision of some supervisor or the guide. But if you see the unsupervised learning, there is a no supervisor or the guide. And second major difference is nothing but the related with the kind of data being utilized there. So in case of the supervised learning, training data is available. Correct. Now, in case of the unsupervised, data is available, but is that data is the trained data? In case of the unsupervised learning, the data which is available, whether that data is the trained data or the untrained data,
Untrained data.
that is the untrained data. So in case of the unsupervised learning, that learning agent itself has to find out the patterns out of that data, and then that untrained data will become the trained data after comparing that particular data with the help of the similarities, differences, by comparing the physical characteristics, etc., etc. So these are nothing but the things related to the supervised and the unsupervised learning. These are the two main algorithms of the machine learning, which are being utilized for the learning, which is being utilized to train the learning agent, or which is being utilized for learning purpose for the learning agent. Okay. Now, third is our reinforcement learning. So first we, in case related with the reinforcement learning, first we understand the example. Okay, and then we'll discuss the small architecture of that also, just like we have discussed regarding the supervised learning and the unsupervised learning. Okay, now let's see the simple example. Now consider there is a child. Okay, there is a small child or at our home, and that child is trying to walk. Okay, consider the example of child trying to take his first step, he or she. Now, what kind of things that child has to perform to start walking? So how that child will start walking in his uh, initial period of life? Now, all of you must have seen the child, small child. Okay, like this situation, I can show you here. Okay, all of you can see.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So if I ask how the child start walking, what kind of things, what kind of steps that child has to perform to put his first step or to start walking? How he learn to walk, in short, how he learn to walk. Now here, before you give the answer, here you have to consider the two things. First is what? You have to consider there is a no supervisor available. There is a no guide available. And second thing, there is a no data is available. Not even the trained data or not even the untrained data. Now tell me how that child will start walking. That is the question related with the first example. Okay, this is the first example. Now, second question also I would like to ask here with the second example. Consider there is a one particular student is there, or suppose for example 15 years old, and that student want to learn how to play the cricket, but he don't have any supervisor, he don't have any coach, and that student also cannot read. Okay, that student also cannot read, he is illiterate. Now in these two situations, first is the child and second is that 15 years old student want to learn the cricket, then how they will do that? First tell me about the first example of child. How the child will start walking? What steps he has to follow? He or she has to follow. All of you understand the two situations? Yes. First concentrate on the first example. All of you understand the first example situation?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
tell me how that small child will start walking. What step he has to follow, he or she?
Sir, firstly, he observe others how ते कसे करतात काय करतात.
Means he will observe that small child will observe the surrounding environment. Correct?
Yes, sir.
That small child can do what? That small child can observe the surrounding environment. Surrounding environment in the sense how the other peoples in that home are walking. Okay. And that child will try to replicate the same thing. That child will try to copy the same thing. Yes or no? Okay,
Yes,
by
sir.
observing the surrounding, the child will observe the how other peoples are walking, how other peoples are standing. Then that child will try to copy the same thing, because here what I am saying, there is a no supervisor available. What? There is a no supervisor available. Means the parents are not teaching that child how to walk. That is I am trying to say. Okay, you are getting. That child has to start walking by his own effort. Correct? Yes.
Yes, sir.
So this is the first step he will try to follow. Then he will try to stand still. म्हणजे तो एका जागेवर उभा राहण्याचा प्रयत्न करेल. Because before starting walking you need to stand still in the एका जागेवर उभे राहणे. Okay. Before start walking you need to stand still at particular place, and then he will try to remain still at that particular place. And next important thing he will try to do is trying to balance the body weight. Yes or no? Until he will not able to balance the body weight, will he able to walk?
No.
No. Now आता हे तुमच्या हे ज्या 3-4 गोष्टी मी तुम्हाला इथे हे आपल्याला खूप सोपं वाटतं, कारण आपण we have already passed through that things. Yes or no? But is it the simple thing for that small child?
No.
No, it is a very difficult task for that small child. Understood? Now, is it possible that within a first try, that small child will able to walk? Is it possible?
No, sir.
No. No, sir.
No.
He has to, you must have observed the small child. He used to practice it number of days, within a single day, he used to stand number of times. You must have observed that situation. Understood? Now, from all these scenario that I told you, okay, now can we consider the here child as a learning agent then?
Yes.
Yes. So the summary of all this discussion that we have done, from that we can say child is nothing but the learning agent here, who is trying to manipulate the environment. Who is trying to manipulate the environment in the sense, you can see, in order to walk, the child has to observe the environment, surrounding people. That is the reason here I have mentioned child is the agent who is trying to manipulate the environment, surface or the floor, by trying to walk and going from one state to the another state. Okay, so here you can see this point, this figure. From at this point, child try to perform some action here. What action he tried to perform? He tried to perform action of walking. Understood? And to perform the action of walking, he need to perform the different step that just I told you. So number of times he tried to perform that particular same action again and again. Understood? Now where he is performing that action? Where is performing that action? Where the child is performing his actions?
On surface.
On surface, in the sense we can say the child is trying to perform the action in the environment. Understood? He is trying to perform the action in the environment by observing the environment. Okay, so here you can see, here I have mentioned, by observation the child to perform some actions. Okay, now a child gets a reward when he or she takes a few steps. Now you can see, you must have observed when that child stands still and he make 1 or 2 steps, you must have seen the smile on the face of that child. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
that is considered as a reward. That is considered as a reward for what? Reward for the particular action performed by that child. You are getting my point. Reward for what? That particular action taken by that child. Now, what do you mean by the reward? What do you mean by this reward? Meaning of this reward is what? The child is performing some positive action. Yes or no? Child is, meaning of the reward is what? Child is performing some positive action. Now, when that child is getting the reward, when he able to stand and when he able to perform 1 or 2 steps, correct or not? Yes. When the child will get the reward here?
When he performed the action.
When not just the action, when he perform the action, and that action will be the positive action, then only he get the rewards. He or she will get the rewards. Now, what do you mean by the positive action here? Now, how we can decide the action is the positive or the negative? Yes, when you can say the action is the positive, and when you can say the action is the negative. Yes, related with that child who is trying to walk, when we can say the action is the positive and when we can say the action is the negative.
So positive means त्याने जे efforts घेतले steps म्हणजे चालण्यासाठी.
Now, if he able to walk 1 or 2 steps, if that child able to walk 1 or 2 steps, then we can say it is the positive action. Understood? But when he is trying to walk, but he unable to walk, बरोबर ना, की ते पहिल्याच एफर्ट मध्ये उभं राहतं का नाही, त्याला he need to try again and again, कधीतरी ते he fall down. Understood? Number of things happen. So when he trying to walk and he failed to walk, then that is considered as what? Negative action. You are getting my point? When he trying to walk and he able to walk, that is the positive action. But when he trying to walk but he unable to walk, that is the negative action. Getting the point? Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And when he able to walk as a positive action, then he will get what? Rewards. Understood? But when he unable to walk, that is being considered as a negative action, and in that case he get the punishment. Correct or not? When he able to walk, that is where what he get the rewards. But when he unable to walk, what he will get? He will get the punishment. Now, what do you mean by the punishment here in this example? Yes. What do you mean by the punishment in this example?
Practice.
Punishment म्हणजे आपण त्या बाळाला what we used to beat that child, is that the punishment? No. की तो त्याच्या एफर्ट मध्ये फेल झाला, that is being considered as a punishment. Correct or not?
Yes.
So now what I am trying to tell you from this example, this particular example that I am trying to tell you, that is nothing but the reinforcement learning. Now here you can see there is a no supervisor available who is teaching that child
Environment, surrounding
how
environment.
to walk, and there is also no data available. Still that child has to walk, and how he can walk? He can walk by performing his own action, and where he can perform his action? In the surrounding environment. Now when he is performing his action in the surrounding environment, from the environment he used to get some feedback. What? When he is trying to perform his action in the surrounding environment, he used to get some feedback. And when that child learn from that feedback itself, that is called as the reinforcement learning. Getting? Yes. When the child learn from the feedback, now from whom he is going to get the feedback? Tell me.
Parents.
Yes. Means he is going to get the feedback from the environment. Whoever will be the available in the environment, from them he used to get the feedback. Also, that child will get the feedback from himself only. Am I right? Yes. Will that child get the feedback from himself only?
No.
Yes. When the child tried to walk, in the first effort he failed. Now then in that child mind something must become that now I should try in the different way. Is it like that? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So from that we can say the child is getting the feedback from himself also.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes. So when the child perform the action in the environment, child in the sense when that particular learning agent perform the action in the environment and he learn from the feedback that he get from the environment. Now what kind of feedback he is getting from the environment? Positive feedback or the negative feedback? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Positive feedback will be when he succeed to walk, and negative feedback will be when he unable to walk. Yes or no?
Yes.
And that is nothing but the called as the reinforcement learning, the learning where agent learn without any guidance of the supervisor, without any guidance of the data. And how he learns? He learns from the by performing the action in the environment, and by performing the action in the environment as well as with the help of the feedback he gets from the environment. Feedback may be a positive feedback or feedback may be a negative feedback. Now same example we can apply for that 15-year student who is trying to learn the cricket. As I said, there is no coach available. He is illiterate. He cannot read the books and learn how to play the cricket. Now only what he can do, he can observe. He can observe how other people are playing, and then he can go on trying, just like the children here trying to walk. Correct or not? Yes. All of you understood this example?
Yes, sir.
So same example can be applied for that 15-year student who is trying to play the cricket, but there is no guide, there is no coach available to teach him, as well as he cannot also, now he is illiterate, he cannot learn read the books and learn how to play the cricket. Only option which is available for that 15-year student is nothing but observe how the other peoples are playing, and from that he need to try again and again. And when he try again and again, he will get the feedback from the surrounding, he will get the feedback from the environment, and from that he will try to improve himself. And that is nothing but the called as what? Reinforcement learning. Why it is called the reinforcement learning? Can anybody tell me? Yes. Why this is being called as the reinforcement learning?
Action perform repeated.
रिपीटेड एक्झॅक्टली की एजंटला काय स्वतःला फोर्स करावं लागतंय परत again and again
Hmm.
to learn that particular thing, because there is a no guide available, there is a no supervisor available. All of you are
Yes.
getting?
Yes, sir.
And that is nothing but the reinforcement learning. The same part I have put it in the architectural form here. Just like I said, this is the learning agent performing the action in their environment. Correct? All of you can
Yes.
able to see performing the action in the environment.
Yes.
Then after performing the action, you can see he is getting the reward.
Yes.
If the action is correct, he will get the reward.
Reward.
And again, the learning agent will perform that action, and his state will be changed from one state to the another state. Okay.
Yes.
After performing the action, his state will also change from one state to the another state. He just like the child अगोदर ते रांगत असेल किंवा एका जागेवर बसलेला असेल. When he perform the action, he might be able to walk, or he might be fail, like that state will be get changed. Okay. So in the similar way, when the agent learn in this way, that is called as the reinforcement learning. Got the point?
Yes, sir.
So same point I have put it in the theoretical way. The reinforcement learning is based on the occasional rewards. Okay. So more the rewards he will get, more his confidence will get built. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So that is nothing but this reinforcement learning. Understood? So reward is just what we can say. The reward is simply here mentioned
Appreciation.
to indicate what that particular agent is reaching towards its goal. Am I right?
Yes.
More the rewards, more close is that agent to its goal. Okay. So reinforcement learning agent does not have exact output for given input, but it accepts the feedback on the desirability of the output. This feedback can be provided by the environment or the agent itself.
Itself.
So feedback generally occurs. Feedback generally occurs after a sequence of action. Okay, after performing number of times that same action again and again, the feedback will generate it. So there can be a delay in getting the respective improved action immediately. बरोबर, म्हणजे काय की एकदा प्रयत्न केल्यानंतर that agent has to think की आता काय करायला पाहिजे. Like that is the reason here I mentioned. So there can be a delay in getting the repetitive improved action. So reinforcement learning knows that the results are right or wrong. So what the things this agent is know ki the final result, whether that final result is right or wrong, these things are known to that particular learning agent. Now for example, related with that child, his goal is nothing but to just start walking. So he knows what will be the right result or what will be the wrong result. Correct or not? So these things is known to that particular learning agent. Okay. So this is nothing but the reinforcement learning. All of you understood? Yes, reinforcement learning understood.
Yes, sir.
You can consider another example of reinforcement learning, that is the problem of playing the game. Now you can consider the here example of playing the game of football. Okay, this is the goal post, for example, and here is the player who is trying to hit that football. Now when this player will get the rewards, now here consider here is the goalkeeper. Now when this player will get the reward, here is the ball. When this player will get the reward, tell me.
Successful goal. After the successful goal.
When this player will hit this ball, and when this ball will go into the goal post, then we can consider he will get the rewards. मग त्याला पहिल्या, is it possible that every time he will hit the ball in the goal post?
No.
No, he has to try a number of times. He have to it might happen after hitting first time the ball might have gone in this direction. Ball might have gone in this direction. So you have to think what things have gone wrong here. Then you have to decide on that. Again, you have to try it next time. So he has to force himself again and again until he will be able to succeed to get the right result. So if the ball goes in this direction, it is considered as a punishment for himself. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So in this way, this football player will get the different kind of feedback. If the ball goes in the direction, that is the negative feedback for himself. If it is comes slightly closer, then it can be a slightly positive feedback like this way. Understood? So this is another example you can consider regarding the reinforcement learning, where the agent has the goal of getting the high score and can be moved in the game and receive the feedback in terms of the punishment or the rewards. Okay. So this kind of example can be you can apply for the all the different kinds of game. You can apply it for the cricket also, cricketing player also. Okay. So this is the reinforcement learning, and here we have finished that particular part of our what we can say different types of learning for the learning agent. Okay, and this comes under the point of the different types of the machine learning algorithms. Okay, and here I have put down the summary which will be helpful for you for the exam also. Here I have put down the differences. Okay, differences between these three. Okay, all of you can able to see it. This table, yes.
Yes, sir.
So here with the help of the different criteria, I have mentioned the comparison here. For example, if you see the definition of the supervised learning, the machine learn by using the label data or the trained data. Unsupervised काय तर the machine is trained on the basis of unlabeled data without any guidance. Reinforcement learning काय, an agent interact with the environment by performing his action and learning from the error or rewards. Types of the problem of supervised learning. So supervised learning can handle the classification and the regression problem. Unsupervised learning can handle the clustering, and reinforcement learning is the reward based. Types of the data for the supervised learning is what? Label data, yes or no? Types of the data available for the supervised learning is which kind of data?
Label data.
Trained data. In case of the unsupervised learning, there also data is available, but that data is what? Unlabeled data or the untrained data. In case of the reinforcement learning, is there any kind of data available? No. So no predefined data is there in case of the reinforcement learning. Training, external in case of the supervised learning, external supervisor is available to give the training, yes or no?
Yes.
In case of the unsupervised, there is a no supervision. Here, in case of the reinforcement also, there is a no supervision.
No supervision.
Understood. Approach in case of the supervised learning is what? Maps the label input to the known outputs. बरोबर ना? अगोदर जे तुमच्याकडे आउटपुट असेल त्याला तुम्ही काय करता? नवीन इनपुट आलं तर आपण काय करतो? मॅच करायचा प्रयत्न करतो. That is nothing but the supervised learning. Unsupervised learning approach is what? It understands the patterns and discover the output. Okay, it understands the patterns and discover the output with the help of the using the different physical characteristics, similarities, differences, and then from that it try to discover the outputs. Approach of the reinforcement learning is what? It follow the trial and error method. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
It follow the trial and error. की एकदा प्रयत्न केला, succeed नाही झाला, again try like that way. So this is the combined differentiation between all these things. Okay.
So
Yes.
So ते reinforcement learningचा example video game पण येईल ना?
Yes. Any example you can have where there is a no supervisor available, where there is no data available. Understood? Where the agent has to perform his own action, and from his own action he will try to generate the feedback, and accordingly he goes on improving himself. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Utilize the any example where there is a no supervisor and no existing data is available. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So that's it from this point. Okay, only the last point from these unities remain. Here also I have shown you the example of cricketing player also, how the cricketing player try the different shots and how it able to become a perfect in that particular shot. Okay, like that kind of things. Okay. So only the last point from this unit is remaining, that is the artificial neural network, that will continue from the next lecture. Okay. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that's it. Thank you all of you.
Thank you, sir.